Okay, so a teammate of mine had asked about any thoughts people had on the Fated Summons. So I thought, given I'm in the cheap to play category, might be good to give my thoughts, and rather than just share them with one player, pop them on the channel and see if anyone else is interested. So, without further ado, so the first and most easy, obvious thing here is that I think there is no player in the game, any roster, no matter how much you do or don't spend, where I would recommend you take any of those Season 1 heroes. Forget about them, out of the picture. Um, so that is, I think, an easy starting point. The next hero I would then say, really under no circumstances, no roster, it's Thor. I think he's really quite terrible. And there's definitely lots of better heroes here. Actually have some actual situations where they could actually have some utility. The next one I'd definitely rule out for virtually everyone. I really can't see a use case for this hero, and previously just such a pain in the bum was Telluria. Yeah, let's rule her out as well. And then I think we are down to a list of potentially viable heroes. The one I would sort of be next most tempted to rule out is probably Tyr. But if what you're missing is a red hitter, then maybe he could be useful for your lineup. Yeah, I mean there are some reasonable season 1 options there with Mariana. You may find just better value with having a Mariana or two. Tyr obviously does some really good things in terms of healing himself and staying alive and reviving. So certainly some fun to be had with him. But anyway, I probably rate him pretty lowly out of these remaining heroes. So let's, for the sake of that, let's say maybe not Tyr. And the next one who is definitely got I probably ruled out here is Seychart. If you've got maybe a Hero of the Month synergy, you've got someone else from that year, and you're looking to get some of those Hero of the Month co-benefits, then maybe Seychart is the one for you. But I think in terms of this portal, Kage Barado has a much better ability. So I would almost always tell everyone to take Kage over Seychart. So who's left? I think the others who are left, I think they all have some viable use case. So let's talk through some of those options. So if you don't have an ailment blocker, then Grizzle is, she's got some potential for you. It's only 2 turns of ailment blocking. She is at least very fast, so there are lots of circumstances where you can get her up. If you already have ailment blocking, I would be shocked if it made sense for your roster to have Grizzle. And even if you don't have ailment blocking, if you're cheap and free to play, there are, I think, some heroes who would probably still help you more than Grizzle could. I certainly find Costume Vander with her 3-turn ailment blocking, sometimes that 3 turns does not feel like long enough. So 2 turns with Grizzle could certainly be pretty painful. Okay, next is Vela. So she certainly got nerfed pretty bad. They did try and buffer a little bit to make her somewhat usable. I'd say her use case now is potentially against Water Pipe. So the good thing about Vela is that she has innate immunity to effects from minions. So, Lady the Lake minions or the pipe minions from Water Pipe, they do not affect her. So you can get her special going, and because Vela hits all, she's not a great way of removing those minions because she doesn't hit very hard, and a lot of her damage comes through water damage. But she can help keep you alive. She's going to be giving attack down to the enemy team, so she could be a good support hero if you're finding that you need to face a water pipe. Onatel, I'd be surprised if she's that useful for many cheap and free-to-play players, or at least relative to some of these other options. I see she's certainly got some value, especially in Rush Wars, where she can be stealing quite a lot of mana, messing up enemy specials. So if you don't have a way to mess up enemy mana and enemy specials, then maybe she could even work in your defensive lineup as a way to an uncleansable way of messing with enemy mana. Mitsuko, really good hero. There's still clearly that reflect ability is really very powerful indeed. So reflecting ice, that is maybe not the greatest element to be reflecting, and that is probably because Empires and Puzzles have brought out other heroes that get around that. So Koba was the first. He had a good ability to bypass defensive buffs, and now Sobek also does the same thing. So chances are, though, you'll still be able to find good uses for Mitsuko. There are still definitely ice setters out there like Lepus who will smash themselves on the reflect. Talek. So for Talek, I see him really just as a Titan specialist. Maybe there is some war application, but it's not sort of an obvious war healer. And if you're looking for a war healer, then Ratatoskr is, I think, definitely a better path to go down. If you're really into Titans and you don't have someone who buffs normal attack really well, then Talek is a good option. Ariel's one of the best heroes here in the Fated Summons. So 40% heal to allies, increases mana gain, and cleansing status ailments. That's all really useful stuff, and you'll get so much use out of her in raiding and wars. So yeah, really quality hero. Those 5-star healer stats. Poseidon, just a sniper, so that's not great, but actually he's got a pretty useful secondary to his special about blocking, creating a resistance to ailments that prevent use of special skills. So mindless attack being the key one there. So he's actually, consider him as a rush specialist. So you're coming up against Elfreich tanks and rush. He is a hero you can take, so you can add to the tile damage you can get on the tank, and if you can get Poseidon to fire before Elfreich, then you can be blocking her mindless ability. Kageberado, so his crucial ability is that he can dispel before he hits, and if... Stop that. No, I'm still here. Thank you, game. That was so helpful. Let's look at some of the cards instead. So Kageberado, if you are struggling with Taunt, so you need a way to try and overcome Taunt, then Kage could be a really useful hero. And if you've got another fast or very fast speed sniper, then that can be a really powerful 1-2 combination where you can take someone off the board, Kage hits first while they've got over 50% health remaining, then your second sniper hits, and that is usually a kill. Yes, so Seychart could be a good combination there. Ratatoskr briefly touched on, so really powerful heal, and useful on Titans as well, so you can boost the nature tiles, so useful for wars, useful for Titans, pretty simple special, but you're getting the 5-star stats, so that's certainly a very nice hero to have. Thor we ruled out. Let's quickly talk about Freya though. She is also one of the better heroes in this portal. At fast speed, you're getting these big chunky minions. So absolutely, I would recommend Freya to an awful lot of people with an awful lot of rosters. If your team's running dark tanks, and you're tanking with someone who's really quite unsatisfactory, the likes of a Zulag or a Sartana, then Freya is definitely a big step up. That Vanaheim realm is still really powerful. It's really annoying to enemy attackers, so she is definitely an excellent hero in this portal, and would be my second choice for my roster. My second choice out of this is Freya. I would love to have her to go on my Pengi attack team. So fast speed, adding more minions, good support hero, adding defense up, and the minions then creating more attack opportunity for Pengi. But the hero I took out of my first Fated Summons, which was just a day or two ago, was Skady. Now Skady is I think generally the best hero out of this entire portal, or at least the most unique and the best attacking potential out of any hero here. So Skady can spearhead an attack team by herself, and that was my thinking about why I took Skady. It seems to be getting a bit harder to find good targets for Skady, in that a lot of the minions that are getting produced now are really big and chunky, and this first edition of Skady with no costumes, you may struggle to get enough minion killing potential. I think with the opponents we're facing at our level, I think I'll still find targets for Skady, so I'm definitely expecting that there will be a spot for her in nearly every war, and definitely all minion wars where the minions are quite little and very easy for her to crunch up. So that's my thinking on the Fated Summons. Let me know what you're thinking. I have got myself 4 Tower Summons to do as well. This is actually a repeat because they stuffed up the featured heroes, so they gave me coins back. So let's have a quick run through and see if maybe we can pick up the new 3-star ninja. Ooh, second copy of Ametrine. I do really enjoy using Ametrine. I don't know that I could. I think she's my only ninja, in fact. Don't know that I would level up a second. I'll have to think about that. There's that holy 3-star. Could be a really handy one to have. No, Renfeld, you are not a ninja. Okay, wish me luck. What have we got? Tyrum. Okay, well that has added a few to the Fated Summons, up to 13 for me now, so perhaps I will get Freya before this Fated Summons disappears, I'm not sure. So, good luck for your choices in the Fated Summons. That will do it.